Iran isn't leaving anything to chance here. Iran is very calculated. Iran knows what it's doing. Iran is preparing for a potential attack that would include a ground invasion. So what are they going to do in that regard exactly if the United States decides to have a ground operation? Whether it is limited to get the uranium or if it's strategic to do with the Khark Island or oil assets or a bigger invasion. Should they be insane to that level? Because if we want to talk about insanity, it's there. You know, they're blessed with a lot of insanity. Attacking Iran was an insane move. Why shouldn't they continue? Like what Israel did in Gaza. And the American army is no less evil and genocidal than the Israeli army. That's a known fact, proven by its history. Iran is preparing heavily with the following. The Interior Minister of Iran said that 12 million citizens declared their readiness to fight to repel any ground invasion during a 10-day mobilization campaign. So, Iran officially, its armed forces is approximately what? 500,000 to 700,000, you know, with additional reserves and forces, maybe 1 to 2 million. 12 million, more than 10% of the Iranian population, would be able to or has showed willingness to participate in any sort of mobilization that the United States would have. Would they stand a chance against that? You saw the hunt. You saw the hunt that came from the tribes in Iran when they wanted to have an opportunity to catch the pilot, right? Imagine there is a ground invasion. And every Iranian just throws a stone, by the way, at an American invader. What would happen to them? Iran is prepared for the worst case scenario with the United States. And they're preparing very heavily. The fact that Trump is entertaining this idea is beyond madness. And it shows how detached he is from reality. How much he doesn't pay any attention and doesn't really care about what anyone says. Now, that's coming with more criticism, again, coming from within the United States about the situation as a whole, and the fact that the United States is going to have to withdraw eventually. There is no winning with Iran. The United States isn't capable of winning with Iran. They're too arrogant to accept that fact, like the Israelis were too arrogant to accept the fact that the Palestinian resistance will never be defeated, because their resistance exists based on an aggression, an act of injustice. The best way to remove resistance is to remove the injustice. Otherwise, it's a symptom. Don't talk to me about the side effects. Talk to me about the disease itself and the problem. Trying to coat it and being too arrogant about it will lead to your demise. And that's what the United States and Israel are leading themselves into. But in the United States, they're also worried about the after effects. Trump may repeat the withdrawal scenario and leave the region in a dangerous chaos. They did that before. They did it with Vietnam. They did it with Iraq. They did it with Afghanistan. And now they are most likely to do it with Iran. Why? Because Iran isn't even comparable to all of the other situations and wars that the United States has been in. We're talking about a much bigger scale. And Trump, if he doesn't want to lead to a very large massacre of American forces in Iran, will have to withdraw and declare victory. Just declare we achieved the objectives. They're already doing that, aren't they? Let's not forget. We defeated the army. We annihilated their navy. 82% of the launches are gone. We have enough oil. We don't need the Strait of Hormuz. All of these statements are a preparation. We have a regime change. There's a new regime. Why is all of that? When it's completely the opposite of what's happening on the ground. It's because they are preparing. They're preparing the public for a declaration of victory, a victory over Iran. When every American base in West Asia has been wiped off the map, when the United States is out of West Asia, when the genocidal satanic death cult state is in its most vulnerable situation, and that's it. And say that we won. We won, but the Strait of Hormuz, Iran is controlling it, because there's a new regime, right? And they're friendly. They have it calculated. There's a new regime because they're so good, because Mujtaba Khamenei is an amazing guy, my type of guy, me and the Ayatollah. And let him get the money, and we want what's best for the Iranian people at the end of the day. And they'll leave. Americans dead. Does he care? Does anyone think he cares? Losses, does anyone think he cares? Do you know what? Forget about the people for a second, right? Companies, Mr. Business and Mr. Assets and Mr. Property. But what did he do to American companies exactly? How many assets of American companies have been attacked so far? So far. We haven't even continued the game. Is he good for American business? So he's not even good for the elite, as in he's not even good for the corporations. The elite depends on how you define them, The Zionist elite there, yeah. He's not good for American business. He's not good for American corporations. He's definitely not good for the average American, let alone the most vulnerable in American society. Nothing whatsoever. And he prioritizes this because he's a blackmailed Epstein top-tier participant, child trafficking, pedophilia. He prefers that over the American people. So he may well do that eventually, because that is the only way out. There is no other way out. The United States will have to surrender. And trust me, it's a huge embarrassment. They're going to have to. And spin it. Declare victory. Right now, misinformation spreads faster than facts, especially on the most sensitive global stories. NVP uses uncensored AI analysis to verify the most controversial topics and separate signal from propaganda in real time. Instead of guessing who to trust, you can see structured verification and analysis behind every major issue.